Lighthouses stand witness to the maritime history of our Cape. Great towers that remind us of the shipping past, but there are other towers from our past. This is Riverbend Silo, the last vestige of Falmouth's 5 dairies that once provided milk to all of Cape Cod and even some of the South Shore. There aren't any more of these in Falmouth. It's the only ceramic silo we believe on Cape Cod and one of the few ones in New England. And we're hoping people will join with us and in the future make sure that our children can still come and see a silo on Cape Cod. Thank you.
In researching the silo, I was bowled over when I found out that it has great ties to the community of Falmouth and its history. Back in the 20s, it was a dairy farm called Sunnyside. Before that, it was the home of a retired whaling captain who opened a cranberry bog. It was known in the Historical Society as one of the unluckiest whaling captains in Falmouth because he had been on 2 whale ships during the Civil War that had been captured by Confederate raiders and burned to the water. And this Captain Fisher lost 3 ships to ice. Fisher had grown up on this farm. It was a small farm. It's only 10 acres. Before he came into being, the farm was owned by Shubal Lawrence, who built his house here, the house that was recently demolished, and who operated a fulling mill on the river. But that mill was used to soften, clean the wool that was woven in homes all over Falmouth from the numerous sheep that were being raised in Falmouth. From the fulling mill, he went in. He bought shares in whale ships. He became a founding member of the Falmouth National Bank, which was the first bank on Cape Cod. He was a part owner of the Barnack Wharf. He owned salt works along the shore. He had his hands in many pots. He died in 1841. He was living with a son at that time. His son inherited everything, but he died a few months later. And when he died, he left $10,000 to the East End Meeting House, which is now the Falmouth Jewish congregation up the street. It was a church building built in 1797 that's still standing. And then he left $10,000 to the to the Falmouth Academy, which was a relatively new high school in town. It was a private secondary school. It was built in 1834. So he dies 7 years later and leaves $10,000 to. It was supposed to help pay teacher salaries. And to get that money, they had to change the name to the Lawrence, from the Falmouth Academy to the Lawrence Academy, which was done. And when the town took over, the town was required by law to offer free public secondary education. So what it did was it bought out or took over the Lawrence Academy, and it named the high school, the new high school that was built a year or 2 later, the Lawrence High School, for Shubal Lawrence's donation. And we're here to encourage people to contribute to the 300 committee this year, and when they make that contribution, to check off the silo, that the money that they contribute should be used to to preserve and restore the silo, because we only have a few months to do this and to get the money for the restoration, and we will lose the building if we're unable to raise close to $45,000.
Please help us raise the money to save our silo.